Righty. All right, good afternoon. Ragamuffin Jim here. And this back here is Ryan. Ryan's a little bit uncontrollable. He's my son, my oldest son, and he kind of does what he wants, when he wants, and how he wants. Today, I'm in here cleaning up the shop. He's telling me I'm finished already. But I had a friend several months ago got a new joiner, and I was trying to explain how to use a joiner, but on a joiner, your blade is horizontal, and it is not, it's hard to explain what's going on. Hang on just a second. I'm hoping that I can explain the general idea of joining I got my router table set up with a straight blade, and I'm hoping I can explain the general idea on how to straighten a board using a joiner. Tell you the truth, 99% of the time I just do it on a table saw and go from there. But before we get started, if you are not comfortable with using a router or a router table, do not do what I'm doing. I have a lot of experience on router tables and using routers and such for doing this thing, but this is a very good way to get yourself hurt. So if you are not comfortable, if you have a second of doubt of what I'm doing, do not try this at home. I had some other warning when I was sitting down there thinking about how to do this, but I can't think of it right now. Oh, and Ryan may be interrupting. Oh, and I've got pauses and things because I got it set up. I'm working off of a camera, and I got lights at my feet to show what I'm doing and all that. So give me just a second, and I will get this set up and explain that I am using a crooked board and how I'm going to straighten it when the time comes. So give me just a second. Let me get this set up. Now, if you will excuse me for just a moment, I have a very dark shop and I don't have enough light to do this. I told myself I wasn't going to shoot any more videos, but I'm in here cleaning up the shop today and said, hey, this will make a great educational video, so let's go do it. So anyway, I have a light down at my feet that's going to shine up and show you that the board I have here is U-shaped. I have high points on both ends. Well, you can't see that, but I have high points on both ends. And when I put it up against a straight edge, you cannot see. Does that help? Maybe. Let me shrink you down just a little bit. Maybe that'll help. But right here around this knot, I have about a 1/4 inch gap. I'm touching at the front, I'm touching at the back, but right here, about 2 foot, I have right here I have a 1/4 inch gap that I can, okay, it's about 1/8 of an inch, not a 1/4 of an inch, but I have a 1/4 inch gap here that shows, and you can see, hopefully you can see the light shining through. No, you can't. Why can't you see the light shining through? But anyway, enough of that. So, I had the brain fart a little while ago of I'm going to stick it up here at the back. Get this over here now where you can see that. Let me turn off the light because it's blinding me. And I'm going to plug in my, not that way, male to male doesn't work. Now, I'm going to take my blocks here. My fences are set. This one's a 1/16 of an inch back from this, so every time I pass my blade, I just have a straight blade in here. I'm going to be taking off a 1/16 of an inch. So in order to show you how crooked that is, I'm just going to scribe, what we call scribing, and I'm going to put a mark. And you can see that right there, I'm running off of my board, and I'm off. And then I'm starting to get more and more and more. Whoops, I fell off right there. So I'm going to continue my line with my spacer blocks. That's just there so I can show you where my line's running. Do this where you can see it maybe, like so, and then we're touching back here. So what that's telling me is that I need to take off up here at the front where I'm showing about an 8. I'm going to take it down pretty close to the line, and then I'm going to start working from this point back, straightening it up. So once again, if you are not comfortable with the usage of router tables, you're not used to having blades, open blades, do not do what I'm doing at home. So let me show you the process here, and maybe this will help or give you knowledge. How do you like that for a view? Now watch it shake the whole time. And you see I'm not even touching, it's not even touching the thing right now. So for giggles, I'm going to run it one more time. And you can see it's not touching there now. It's not touching the blade. The wood is not touching the blade. So I'm going to keep going. All the way across. And you can tell, maybe, I hope, that this area right here has not been touched by the blade. Now, luckily, I think I can run this one more time and it'll run it through and straighten it. Turn that off so maybe you can hear me. Turn that off so maybe you can hear me, but I'm reasonably sure that board is straight on this side. I got a couple of bumps in there. I probably ought to run it again, but I'm not going to. This is going to be a scroll saw table for me, but it lines up pretty. I got a little bitty gap right there in the middle, but it's all going to be glued to other boards, so it'll work just fine. The other thing I was going to warn you about is do not do this with a board that you have sized lengthwise, because you will end up out of square. You can't see me touching that. You will end up out of square on these corners. So if you're sized, if you have the board sized, and you didn't straighten it while it was wild, you're going to have a problem. But that board is straight enough for me to glue it up. Now, if I was working towards perfection on something on this project, this would not be perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it will get the job done. Hope that helps.